What kind of dystopian future do we find ourselves in? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? It reminds me of that book, 1984 by George Orwell. But if you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face. Forever! Well, that's from George Orwell's dystopian future Britain. In 1984. I happen to have the book, yeah. Well, yeah, it was a penguin version of it, anyway. Makes you wonder that it does. 9 words are spoken by the novel's inner party inquisitor, O'Brien. And they could be, well, wryly altered to fit our times somewhat. Now, if you want a picture of Britain's future dystopia, imagine waiting unsuccessfully for a doctor in a doctor's waiting room for an appointment. Yet again, forever. A bit like Groundhog Day, you could say. But like Groundhog Day and the Tories are rather, well, they're rather incapable to make any changes necessary, but I have my doubts that Labour will either make Brexit work. How? No one lets us know. None of us are any the wiser, are we? You wonder it, do? It does. Makes me think of things like maybe some, I don't know, some flying pigs. Maybe. We'll make Brexit work for you. Yeah, we will. We're flying pigs. That's what we do. Anyway, on that note, who we got here at the moment anyway? So, oh dear. Oh, we've got 20 people there at the moment. We've got Gingers, the Mad Monk Buddy, and Duke Vengeance, and number 3. Scroll to the top, scroll to the top. Oh, Wim, hello, Wim, you're the first there, buddy. Evening all, and yes, Marcus, oh yes, George Orwell told the story. Well, told the future. Yeah, it's like you say, it's totalitarian governing by the Tories. It's all about diversion. Don't look over here, look over there. Let's blame somebody else. Oh, immigrants. Pesky immigrants. Oh, what are they doing? Well, maybe they're going to come and...
over here, taking our jobs and our women.
Maybe. I doubt it somehow. They've probably got more taste. Anyway, indeed, the Tories seem to go by the book called the P. Dulles. They go by the book that turn the UK into some sort of totalitarian state. No more demonstrations. The Supreme Court is the enemy, and a mandatory nationalist song in the schools. You're right there, buddy. Oh, European Court of Justice, anyone? No? Okay, I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. Little old Richie Sunak in his very short trousers. His schoolboy trousers, that's what he's going to be wearing, isn't it? Oh, apparently it's fashionable, you see, so you can see his socks. Well, he's going to meet Ursula von der Leyen tomorrow regarding the Northern Ireland Protocol. And we might hear something about it tomorrow. Well, hopefully we'll have some sort of inkling of what it involves. We know it's got something to do with red and green lanes, don't we? That's about it, really. Anyway, while you're here, please don't boot that old like button. Helps channel, you know. The button don't work now. Terrible, isn't it? Buttons never work. So much for stream decks. Anyway, Mad Monk says, oh, saying hello to everybody. Hello. The night is 1984 night. Seems. I tweeted an Academy of Ideas video earlier. Oh, you done it? Okay. Duke Vengeance says he hates his existence. No, don't say things like that. Even in there, Mad Monk. Hi, everybody. And 91 Leeds, and Chatty Rat, and Casper Northern is here. And Jasper, hello, Jasper. Hope you're well, my friend. And Joa Marios. I hope it's nice in Portugal. It's freezing here today. Absolutely freezing. I mean, it's really cold. Tiny. I'm cold. But it is. Well. And Chris Murphy, evening there to you too. And Chatty Rat, doesn't chat already. Green and orange lanes. Isn't it supposed to be like red and green lanes or something? The red lanes are heading for the EU, and the green lanes are going to be going to, well, Northern Ireland, you see. They don't get checked then, you see. I don't see what's stopping those green lane truck lorries ending up in the red lane truck lorries, unless it's going to be like Scale Electric and you can't jump lanes. Maybe. I don't know. Hello, Dimitri. I hope you're well. Even all to you, and so Larry the Cat. Good evening, everybody. As he says, I hear that Richie's puts jam in shoes and invites his trousers down for tea. Yeah. It's so short. I don't understand why. And when you sit down, they end up around your calves. That in fashion, is it? Next thing we do, he's wearing his trousers really loose and wearing a belt, obviously, yeah, because it obviously fall down otherwise, you see. But just like hipsters. I'd never understood that. Get a draft. Oh dear. Please like and subscribe. Yes, please. Yes, please. Anyway, well, got quite a bit to get through, you know. That we have. So, oh dear. Are we? Are we crying? We are. Yes, for a party that puts the people first, and not our British oligarchy, as Bernie Sanders put it this morning. That's how he put it on Sky News this morning. I wish he was our Prime Minister. I really do. Well, the British oligarchy, who pretty much control absolutely everything, from the turnip you eat, yeah, and the propaganda that you see. I know you believe that you're not easily, manipulated or influenced by online propaganda, adverts, etc., but it's a numbers game, you see. And the media, well, it's all influence. And it's, merely an advertising campaign, and we know that advertising works. Otherwise, why the hell would they do it? They spend billions on it, you know. Well, how is it that the EU has been so vilified over the decades? If it wasn't for this drip, 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 quite frankly. And George Orwell, well, he wrote, oh God, what did he write? George Orwell, he wrote, it's George Orwell, there he is. So when the BBC was honest. So, yes, George Orwell wrote in his book as a warning about communism. And he was also like satirising an impoverished post-World War II Britain. A land in the grips of austerity where nothing much worked. Everything smelled vaguely of cabbage. Jump forward to 2023, when everything, pretty much smells of turnips. And no, one could afford to do much apart from get drunker, to be fair. But even that seems unlikely unless you're, just back from a French booze cruise. Wonder if they'll be coming back soon. So yes, now we're fast forwarded to 70 odd years. And, a country that's comparably broken. How's it go there? Plus ça change. Plus c'est la même chose. Wonder what goes round comes around. And it wasn't Justin Timberlake, because he wrote a song about it. It wasn't him at all. It was this geezer. Yeah. One picture for you now. Here you go. There's a picture. No, not her. That's the wrong picture, that one. Oh my God, that was shocking. Did you see it? Terrible that was. That was a Liz Trustless Truss. Got beaten by a lettuce. Well, Justin Timberlake, he stole it from this geezer. An epigram by Jean-Baptiste Alphonse Carr in January 1849. Well, that's in the journal of the Grips. Like the wasps, I think it's the wasps. Well, literally, the more it changes, the more it's the same thing. That's pretty much what it means. Today, the richest country such as, well, one of them in particular, the one that many of you probably live in the United Kingdom. But they've got to fight for your right for a flippin' lettuce. Bombs and leaks. They're all at risk. Should be on an endangered species list. Or, or variety list, or, yeah, or something like that. Well, you got the empty supermarket shelves. Aren't just a blip. No. Not at all. And it gets worse. So, they're a symptom of a dysfunctional system. And we needed to start, well, quite frankly, we need to start paying more for our veg. Now, if you look at the farm stalls and what have you, they got veg, but they're paying more. In fact, one farm stall was saying that for a box of tomatoes, he was losing around £14 for every box that he sold. But supermarkets have squeezed everybody. But they can't at the moment because they can't get hold of stuff because, well, at the bottom of that pecking order now, aren't they, the supermarket? Yes, it's a dystopian Britain. And now here we are in 2023 with shelves emptied of salad, vegetables and, well, rationing basically. Okay, we ain't got a ration app yet, but that'll come. So yeah, rationing in the supermarkets. I don't think I'd ever see that. Well, it's solid product. Well, is it solid product leaving the EU? No, of course. Well, the fact that bog-eyed Brexiters, they cling to their Brexit. Going, I just want my Brexit. But yes, there have been weather issues abroad and what have you, but that's not it. It's a perfect storm of issues. Well, many farmers tried to plant their seed last year for this year's crop.
You must feel the force around you.
Winter crop. And a lot of it didn't even germinate. But isn't it curious that the supply problems that we, have in the United Kingdom not been replicated in France? Spain? No. Or even Ukraine? No. Not at all. Oh, look at this. This is the Grand Fray, this is in the Moj. I took that the other day when that went. Got a video there, but I had no internet. I suppose I could have done a video. I was too many people about buying fresh vegetables. See what I was doing, they were staring at me, so I was a bit uncomfortable. You're not really supposed to do it, you see. Anyway, so I took a picture. So, it's inside a Grand Fray. Yeah. Can you see all those tomatoes? Don't they look lovely? Oh, all those little grape tomatoes there. We've got Roma over here. I think they're Roma, or they're just, elongate. It's just, yeah. Little vine tomatoes. Oh, look at that. We've even got eggplant. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So, yeah. Our stalls are groaning with fresh produce. But for decades, the supermarket sector has been, it's been given pretty much a free run at our food supply chain by governments of both stripes. Just a dozen companies controls 95% of UK food retail and use that, economic might to force, pretty much every other business out of business. Yeah. Drastically tight margins on the producers. And they're saying, what's the point? That's putting seed in the ground. It's too risky. Too much outlay and not enough, enough money from it, no. No profit margin. Our self-sufficiency. Well, it has withered, somewhat. It has. And it's, yeah.
People would be eating turnips
Certainly
right
hasn't.
now rather than thinking necessarily about aspects of lettuce and tomato.
What a thing to say when people are struggling. And how can you compare a flippant tomato with a turnip? He said turnip. Oh, she is an awful, awful creature. She really is. And she happens to be one of the most boring people. There's one of them voices that's kind of monotone and it sort of sends you, well, it sends you to sleep.
The NHS is and always has been a national endeavour. That was set out in 1944 when it was a Conservative politician, Sir Henry Willink, who put forward the proposals for a National Health Service. That's right, a Conservative MP from my home city of Liverpool who conceived the NHS. A good omen, I think.
Are you still awake? Are you? Huh? Because I nearly did. I think, why little snooze? Oh, who wants to see a doggy cam? You know, one thing about it. There you go. There's a Pandora in black. She's like shadowed. And we've got Sebastian. I don't know where Wally is. Oh, I know where Wally is. He's in front of the fire. Well, at least in the 1940s, the country and its leaders, well, they had an excuse, you see. Yeah, they just fought a war. And that's what they said. We just had the pandemic. The war in Ukraine. Everything but Brexit. No. Still trying to sell their Brexit, aren't they? We had that geezer, the one who looked roadkill. I forgot his name now. Oh my god, he was in the Commons going on about Brexit. Everyone's trying to blame Brexit. And he reckons it wasn't Brexit. All lies. Forgot his name. What's his name? Oh, crikey. Always wear the weird suits. Not Michael Fabricant. Kent. Oh, not that one. The other one. The other equally mad, crazy person. Oh, he's friends with Richard Drax. Anyway, I digress. Come to me a minute. Oh, so anyway, we just had a war in the United Kingdom against the Germans. World War. By the time it concluded, Britain had was barely upright. Propped up it was by loans from the United States. But while today's Conservative leaders, they blame that pandemic for Russia's invasion of Ukraine for the country's ills. Yeah. The fact the country's now being called the sick man of Europe once again. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? It really does. Oh, I remember them days, well I do. They were the days we all had rickets and scurvy. Oh, and two events. Well, the two events have certainly contributed to Britain's plight. Much of it as a result of deep, almost philosophical dysfunction and negligent government. There's long-standing policy-making malaise in the United Kingdom. And when, it reached, a crescendo, I suppose. Under the now gone Alexander Boris Pfeffel Johnson. Well, signs of things are falling apart are pretty much everywhere. Everything is buggered. It is. Buggered. And despite the change of leadership, I've lost count. There's one about something about lettuce. Yeah. I think we need a turnip cam. Yeah. We have the lettuce cam. And the lettuce outlast Liz Truss. The only problem with a turnip is you can store a turnip for quite a long while. We don't want that. No, we'll have to help it on its way. We'll have to get a rotten turnip. See what happens. Well, everything is falling apart around our bloomin' ears. Even with our tiny Prime Minister. Blimey. He's actually the same height as me. Where's their trousers up there? For God's sake. Oh, damn. And he's the richest man in Parliament, probably. Well, what can you say? So, let's take for example, though, the inflation. The things that have gone pretty wrong, isn't it? Well, to be fair, actually, the inflation is sky high pretty much everywhere across the continent and on the other side of the Atlantic. But in Britain, well, it was heading even higher. It was going a bit crazy, it was. Goldman Sachs last year, they warned we could be hitting around 22.4% this year. Unfortunately, it's kind of lost momentum, inflation. Maybe it's, some things that have been done, maybe. I doubt. The interest rates were obviously would have helped bring it down a bit, but no, it's slow, isn't it? Fortunately, it's like I say, it's lost momentum. But now, that quasi-quarantine and his fungal toe, well, he's been put out to graze, he has, and Liz Truss, well, she was beaten by that lettuce, that she was. I'll talk about quasi-quarantine.
We face new challenges, and in addressing those challenges, we will act in a fiscally sustainable and responsible way. That is why, shortly, we will publish our medium-term fiscal plan, setting out our approach more fully. It will set out how we plan to get debt falling as a percentage of GDP over the medium term. And I have asked the OBR to publish a full economic and fiscal forecast alongside our medium-term
the national
fiscal
debt
plan.
now.
There is no path
it's
to
the
higher
same as our
sustainable
GDP.
growth without fiscal
You don't take our
responsibility.
assets into consideration. We're bankrupt. Oh, that we are. Anyway, I'm forgetting about you guys and girls, aren't I? Yeah. Do. Scroll down. 51 people. Number 3 says, no, not this. I can't say it. No, rude word. Not say that on YouTube anymore. Not too much anyway. Not this. TOSSER, please. Oh God, the Black Knight of Toryland. Oxy John Paul. Let's start the chant. F Boris. I can't do it. Just saying, I can't do it anymore because I'll get demonetized and I'll get struck off by YouTube. I've already had the 7-day ban. I want another one. I've got this lingering over me now. I've got these, strikes. Community strikes. Lingering over me. I also have some Protestant ones, but, so we are all, like... Oh, right, okay. Okay, the Brexit buster ships are going great work for Ireland. Tesco Ireland should be sold to an Irish EU company as their branch style of trading is leading to shortages. Oh, okay. There'll be shortages everywhere. Mrs. RC said that. Kids invent the weirdest things that they do. Said Joe and Mary Oles. Oh, what in their minds? Imagination. Good to have imagination here. Oil is only rich because he wears children's suits. Put a tweet on I replied to somebody on Twitter, and I was going on about his short socks, and I said he's always in the children's aisle. The way I worded it made it sound like I was talking that he's like, you know, he's a bit like Gary Glitter, but that wasn't what I meant. It got the wrong end of the stick. It did. People did anyway. Hello, Christoph 8723. Call Baldrick. He's the turnip specialist. I've invested in my turnip. Oh, have you? I got that one then.
I've got a plan so cunning you could put a tail on it and call it a weasel.
Oh, it's only water. That's it, it's tonic water, actually. Who's Ebadiah? How are you? Who? Hi, I hope you're well. Think you can get 400 quid if you're totally off grid on the boat. Oh, I don't know. Is it possible? Find a lefty boater because he lives on the boat. I was some incredible ignorant people in my time and jaw-dropping beliefs in some cases. I'm not surprised, number 3. Don't forget, boop the old like button. Cheers, that mad bunk. My button don't work. Oh no, that's what the missus said. I said it working there. It's not working. That's strange. Very strange. There you go, it's working now. Don't boop the old like button. We've got how many likes? We've got 34 likes and 54 people watching. I had more likes last week than I did actually views. You know, people watching. Quite interesting. Oh, if you want to support the channel, you can do that on the super chat down below, because it's the only way I can get funded on this now, to be absolutely honest about it. So it's yeah, not from the views. So for me to carry on doing it, I'm gonna, I do need a little bit of help, to be fair. Do feel like I'm begging though. Ginger's Giraffe says New Hampshire. Oh, she's New Hampshire, United States. Well, Richie did promote himself using a He did. Oh, have I got that on there? Have I got that on there? Why not? I got that on it. Do you want to be in? Yeah. I did a It's actually on my channel. It's my featured imagey thing on yeah. I suppose I've been struck off by that as well. It's a bit naughty. But anyway. Scrolling down. Yeah, just applied, says Lefty Boat. God knows when I'll get it though. That'll be next year. And that come in the form of co-op stamps. Yeah. No? Who remembers the co-op stamps? Can you still get co-op stamps? Oh, Chatty Rat says, no shortages in Dunn's, Central Super Value, Lidl's and Spar outlets in the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. All Ireland distribution systems, no shortages in Aldi stores. Cool. Excellent. I've got to eat, you know. But I feel like I'm not eating at the moment because I'm on this weird diet thing. It's so boring, I don't eat much. I keep eating the same thing. I get a bit bored with it. Although I tell you what I did have today. I had tomatoes. We've got them little raclette things. You basically, raclette's like, well, like little slices of cheese, like sliced cheese. You've got these little metal things, a French thing, yeah? You've got these little metal dishes. You put your veggies and stuff in there, or meat or something. And then you can just put your cheesy raclette cheese on top of that. Proper cheese, it's not that stuff you put in a burger kind of thing. Proper cheese, you put it in this heat thing. It's like a grill. You put it under the grill. You put it on your table. It's kind of like a fun eating type thing. We got this thing. We've been using it so much, especially that I'm on this keto diet because I'm just eating cheese and veg, meat and stuff, and it's just great. You just chuck them in there, and it's nice. It slows you down eating as well because you're kind of like making your food as you're going along. And I'll tell you what I do like to chicken tikka, and it's brilliant. With my yogurt and chicken tikka slices and stuff, my chicken and marinate it and that then. Put in these little dishes. Oh, absolutely lovely. Maybe a couple of tomatoes on the side. I was going to say a turnip, but maybe not. I'm not going to put a turnip there. No. I'm not a lover of turnips. Although, turnip tartiflette is actually okay. That's actually quite nice. Because turnips do actually have quite a lot of sugar in them. Turnip. Like most of the root crops. What you do with them, you see. It's what you do with your turnip. You just don't do what... Yeah. Don't do it again, Mark. Yes.
A lot of people would be eating turnips right now rather than thinking necessarily about aspects of lettuce and tomato.
Oh, Daddy Blase, hello there. Have you come along because it said George Orwell? Probably. Oh, dear. So, yes. We're in this dystopian, you see. Britain's in the dystopian future. Not the future, though. It's a here and now, unfortunately, for Britain. Yeah. I was dragging everybody else with it, including you poor folk in Scotland. But you feel helpless, don't you? I want to get out of here! I've had enough! I want to get out of here! But no, they won't let us. Let you. They won't let you. That's it. I'll get that in a minute. Well, so where was I? Oh, Kentucky. So, hello, Daily Blase. So, where was I? One moment I was thinking about... Oh, who was it? Was it Liz Truss letters? Maybe. I was thinking about that. Liz Truss letters. And we do need a... like I say, we definitely need that turnip cam. That'll be a very long wait. Oh. Can't stand that woman. I really can't. She blocked me on Twitter, you know. I wasn't very nice to her, though, I must admit. She's having a bit of a spree at the moment. She's been blocking loads of people on Twitter because obviously everybody's been giving a go about the turnip. Hashtag coffee turnip. Was it Teresa turnip? Or was it turnip Teresa? I don't know. They probably get every single formulation you can think of. So luckily the momentum has gone regarding the inflation. It don't mean to say it can't shoot up again. We don't really know what's around the corner at the moment, do we? And all this comes after 15 years of economic stagnation. We've had an economy that's been propped up, I know I've said this before, been propped up by ridiculously low interest rates. I know the millennials might have said, well, very expensive interest rates are at the moment. No. Way too low. But, yeah, so anyway, this all comes after 15 years of economic stagnation, predating the pandemic, all, Russia's President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Thanks to Russia, energy prices, and then Brexit. All part of the soaring inflation. But, inflation regarding Brexit is down to the fact we can't get people. We need people! We're not making them anymore! PFA chemicals! No one wants to talk about that. The damage it's actually doing to our futures. They've found it everywhere. Pretty much. It's PFA, poly something. A long name. It's a long chemical name. And it's that they've been nicknamed forever chemicals because when it gets into your system, heavily, like asbestos. And they found it pretty much all over France, Germany, the EU basically, and the United Kingdom's everywhere. And obviously further afield as well. In the sea, these PFA chemicals will end up in our fish. It's just that problem, isn't it? It's not always microplastics. Eventually it ends up in you. What's it doing? Oh, dare I say it. You probably all going to click off now. It's making it so your sperm can't swim straight. And if you don't believe me, check it out. Do your own searches. I'm not searching that one again. Because those videos are always a flop. Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'll carry on. I'll give up your day job. Oh, okay. I ain't got one. Well, thanks to Russia, the anti-price Brexit, blah, blah, blah. I've done that already. Anyway, and then we'll see. We had a decade of cheap borrowing. Well, and yet we haven't invested in our energy sector, gas storage, etc. All we keep doing is shutting stuff down. And that's committed by law into net zero regarding the carbon emissions. But don't worry. Luckily, in the EU, supercars or cars that produce less than 1,000 vehicles a year will be exempt by the 2035 no emissions thingy. Internal combustion engine. The ban on internal combustion engines won't apply to manufacturers that produce less than 1,000 cars a year. So it's most of the supercars. That's okay. If you want to get yourself a £500,000 car, you can now. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Put a deposit on tomorrow. It's Monday tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Celebrate the Northern Ireland Protocol redeal. So yeah, committed by law, these are net zero carbon emission charges. But the practicalities of this have always eluded policymakers. I'll tell you what the problem with this is just that our governments never look to the future. They always look to the here and now because they're never in long enough. Thankfully, in this case, you got President Ching Ping Pong. He's President Xi. He invests in the future. He's there for the long shot, isn't he? So he's going to be investing. He's thinking ahead all the time. Although I don't think it's very wise him shaking hands with the likes of Vladimir Putin when the rest of the world is looking on and saying, hang on, what's going on here? But there again, so's Modi. That's not very clever either. And obviously then you've got Iran and Belarus. Won't be surprised Belarus will be next. Be absorbed by Russia. But anyway, so the practicalities have also eluded the policymakers. More than half of the country's nuclear reactors are scheduled to be decommissioned by 2025. You know, and only fuels the horses, isn't it? And proposed nuclear sites which could have been, supplements, have all been, well, brushed to one side. I know there's obviously going on about these little mini micro reactors from Rolls-Royce. Has anyone heard anything about that yet? 300 million they handed over to them for that, for research and development. But that, you know, hasn't materialised just yet. Just like, you know, British Volt, although they didn't hand any money over for that. Just use it as one great big Brexit flag. Oh, how great. We're going to be back in our own batteries. It's going to be a mega factory for... Yeah. No. Now it's been bought up by an Australian firm, I believe. I don't know if it's actually gone through or not, but we'll see. So anyway, this could have all supplemented the closure of the coal plants as well. And these proposed nuclear sites have been vetoed several times now, repeatedly in the last decade. But why we should be looking more? Well, I like the idea of home production of, to be honest, you know, self-production. I know that's what we do here. We produce quite a bit of itchy nose now. We produce most of our electric here via solar and used to a little bit of wind, but we haven't done that recently. When we put the new inverter in, basically converts the power from the solar into power that we can use. It wasn't compatible with the wind turbine, so we've got to think of another solution for that. But anyway, we're about 70% self-consumption. But we're still on the grid as well, but we don't put anything in the grid. So otherwise you've got ridiculous costs. Obviously it puts people off, you see. People apply for all these loans and stuff over 20 odd years to get solar panels put on their roofs. A job that they probably got done for a couple of grand. And they paid 20. Rip off. And then obviously you want your buyback scheme. Here in France, as you've realised this, we have buyback. They have VDF. There's free tariffs. You have a tariff that's in the roof, so that means the tiles butt up to your panels. You got which is the highest tariff. I can't remember what it is now, but it's over 30 centimes per kilowatt hour. But if they're on the roof, so on top of the tiles, you only get like around 20, 25 centimes an hour. But if it's on the ground, like ours is, we'd only get about 15 centimes an hour. So it's only sort of break even. So it ain't really worth our while anyway, really. So anyway, that's what we do. So that's what I think we should be doing. We should be doing more localized supply. Because otherwise, you've got to get it from A to B. That means you need more capacity in your networks, the cabling, etc. You know, they increase the voltages because the amperages go, you know, because it reduces the amperages. It means they can transmit more power through smaller cables. Or your big fat cables, or your car batteries, you see. Low voltage, high amperage. Ooh. Dog hair on me. Dog hair. Oh, it's my hair. It's a whisker. Oh dear, I do apologise for my whiskers. So anyway, so France and Norway, and they're both, you know, struggling to supply us with electricity as well, because we're importing most of our electricity. Well, at least 10% has been imported from France, for instance. Then we struck a deal last year to import electricity from, hydroelectricity from Norway. And then they said, sorry, we've only just got enough for ourselves. So that was scuppered. Now, Norway and France have been struggling with power production. There's no surplus for Britain to enjoy. Instead, we're told to cut back. We are, yeah, in the UK that is. I ain't here, no. Although there has been risk of some forced power cuts here, but nothing as yet. Not over the winter anyway. And to be fair, it's been quite mild. Apart from today, it's freezing. We're in here at the moment. Fire on. But historically, France, for the United Kingdom, was pretty much our backup battery. Now, you know, whenever we had high demand, such as come home from work, stick the kettle on, or have a shower, have your ponging because you just done the bins for the local council or something. You know, everyone's using power at the same time, just like everyone uses the internet, pretty much at the same time, or high consumption at the same time. So then we were getting that power, that surplus was being provided by France. Quite handy, wasn't it? They're not giving us so much now. But the same as our food as well. Our food was like we're exporting our food, the food that we could import it back later. Not the same food, but it's like a mutual arrangement because we were in the EU. We all looked after each other to some degree. So, what do they say? If the wind doesn't blow at the right moment, there will be blackouts. Sun doesn't shine, there will be blackouts. Well, it does make you wonder, doesn't it, what these people are. And we're at a time when we're kind of, we require far much more electricity than we ever did before. We really do. No, it's this is what we're gonna be looking for. Yeah, well, those rather pretty. So, if the wind doesn't blow at the right moment, there will be blackouts. Well, that was the threat, but we are slowly moving away from the power-hungry season, aren't we? We're heading towards spring. Oh, can't wait. But we are a nation that's rapidly becoming more and more power-hungry. Various reasons. Such this could be one of them. The electric car. As we transition into electric cars. Not into, but, to electric cars. Some of these electric cars and lorries, and then we'll have boats and all sorts of stuff like that. Will be electric. Well, you've got electric boats on the roads already. Not a hire fleet for day craft and stuff like that. Day boats. Got them electric. But it's, where's all the power going to come from? All these high-speed chargers that we're going to need. Where are they all going to come from? Where's that power? We've got to produce it, haven't we? Or import it. But we import pretty much flipping everything. Well, last time Britain suffered these shortages was back in the 1970s. And the country once again was mired with, political and economic turmoil, that it was. It was buffeted by a currency crisis. It had to go red-faced, cap in hand, in the International Monetary Fund to the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, for a loan of her in 1976. And there was a wave after wave of strikes. High inflation. Oh my God, deja vu. High inflation, soaring energy costs, and vast unemployment. Well, very little worked. Referees went uncollected, and, sadly, the dead were unburied. Hard. Well, Jim Callaghan, the hapless Labour Prime Minister, at the time he's pilloried when he arrived back in Britain from a summit in the Caribbean, and denied there was any, mounting chaos. I wonder if Richie Sunak, we had a super chat. I do check. I do wonder if Richie Sunak and Callaghan, if they have anything in comparison. They seem rather alike. He said this time of the hauliers' strike it was, and particularly bad weather, which added to the disruptions. For easy dismissal was crudely paraphrased in the famous newspaper headline, "Crisis? What crisis?" Yeah. Well, led by Margaret Thatcher, the Conservatives defeated Callaghan's Labour government in an election the following year, winning a parliamentary majority of 44, making Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson's 80-seat majority. Rather impressive. Even though rather unjust. They were lied to. Yeah. I wonder what it was. Or something that went like this, not something like that.
Deal, put it in the microwave.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh! Right, anyway, let's check the chat. Where is the chat gone? Oh, it's over here. Here it is. I saw a super chat. Who was that? Thank you very much. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, number three, thank you. I did. Why did that come up on here? Was I busy talking? Scrolling up. I'm scrolling up. Oh, another one there. That one. Number 3. You missed my earlier super chat, I believe. Oh, cheers, number 3. I did. I'm looking. Oh, number 3. Psychological warfare techniques are very effective, especially if you know nothing about them. As most don't, of course. Oh, yeah. That's why. Got my speaker off. Let's put that on there. Don't interfere the microphone. Okay, I should hear it now. Oh, that'll do now. Enough of that. Let's turn that off, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. No cottage cheese here for 2 weeks, says Jasper. No cottage cheese. You should make your own Scottish cheese. Oh, I thought you meant cottage cheese. Oh, you make your own Scotch cheese. Or your cottage cheese, if you want. If you've got any old sour milk, and get your granddad's socks, shove it in your granddad's socks, and find an old drippy tap somewhere. We're going back to, soapy easy. And then hang it on the tap, and then sort of drip, drip, drip. It washes all the sourness out of the clotted. Yeah, the sour taste stuff. And it ends up cottage cheese and tastes absolutely nothing. It's horrible. Does anyone like cottage cheese? Standard stuff. Now scroll down. Here's number 3. Brian Maguire goes, Thomas does it what? Oh, who's Advertiser Thomas? Does it hark back to the halcyon days of Welsh rugby? Cheers, Mad Monk. My headphones. No, I'll just turn the speakers on because the headphones, I can't hear nothing from them because I've got a problem with my. There's a conflict somewhere. So it's not coming out of the headphones. We haven't ready. I do apologise, number 3. I do apologise. We have an oven-ready deal, but neither meat nor veg. Oh, meat and no veg. Lovely. Oh,
You must
you'd be.
feel the force around you.
Oh, cheers, Alistair. Okay. Glad to keep up with the. Oh, thank you. Most appreciated. Glad to catch this live. Keep up with the excellent informative quality content, Marcus. I wouldn't go as far as that. Thanks, hey, the Bassinor. There's Alistair. Oh, and Jesus Draft. Oh, I love cottage cheese, especially with tomatoes. Oh, tomatoes, nice, juicy, ripe. Oh, tomatoes. But you know, you shouldn't be eating tomatoes this time of year. No, not at all. Quite frankly, I think it's a disgrace.
A lot of people would be eating turnips right now rather than thinking necessarily about aspects of lettuce and tomato.
Did you see that? Chocolate. Really, really strong chocolate. 90% cocoa. I'm on this diet, you see. You have strong chocolate using diet. Peter, good evening, Vipek. Hello, Vipek. Scrolling down. Oh, even that is. Oh, what else I missed? Tasteless tofu. Oh, says number 3. Yeah, tofu. Crikey. I don't quite understand what you're supposed to do with it. What are you supposed to do with tofu? You get in that little block, don't you? Like soya or something, isn't it? And you chop it up in little blocks and I don't know, you saute it or do. It doesn't have any flavour. Can you marinate it or anything? It's boring. I don't get it. Soya's alright. It's, soya. Well, just even corn. That's alright. Want any of that stuff because Mrs. is a vegetarian, you see. So I tend to eat a bit of that kind of stuff occasionally. I don't mind. Food. It's Wally. All right, we've got a Wally dog here, and he says he needs a treat. So I've got the treats topped up, ready to go. All right, Wally. But must perform. Oh, that was feeble. Oh, is that it? Anyone want to buy a dog? Free. Oh, you didn't see it. Did you see that? Caught that? I slung it at her as well. Never misses the food, I tell you. I mean, it doesn't actually. No, when you throw it at her. Not in there. No, get back on track. Tofu is just PVA glue that has gone off. These people don't care about you. No, they do not. They don't give a, diddly squat about you. Not at all. Could be worse, though. Be someone like Suella Braverman, for instance. She's lovely, isn't she? Yeah.
It's not my freedom of expression to protest violently. No, you can't just start a riot or glue yourself to the roads and get away with it.
They weren't too bright.
Yes, friends, as Attorney General, I had to go to court to get some of these simple truths established. The judges agreed with me last week in the Court of Appeal in the Colston statue case. And that's why our public order bill will empower our police to stop this nuisance. So whether you're Just Stop Oil or Insulate Britain or Extinction Rebellion, you cross a line when you break the law. And that's why we'll keep putting you behind bars.
That's enough, Wally. Can't keep giving you. Missed that one. No, instead glue Corolla to the M25. Oh, wish we could. Oh, I just wish we could. There's some geezer, they like use some kind of resin. Somebody said, was it Crafty, what's it? You know, Darren Graham says going on about concrete and stuff. It wasn't concrete, that was like some form of resin. They managed to resin their hands. They're the place where they try to chip it away. Oh, she is a rather mad, critter, that she is. Mine's one of the Fraggles from Fraggle Rock. Don't know why. Maybe you can tell me. The Clash is now banned. And they started riots! Oh! Started a riot. Vipet tudo ben por aquí? Oh, I don't know what that means. There goes my dinner. I do apologise. Does anyone see this post? I can see you. Yeah, just saying. I can see your post. And what else we got here? Look, it's Dobby. Give it a stock. And she might go away. Oh, Dobby. Oh. Dobby's the best actor. He isn't he? Dobby was the best actor. Harry Potter, anyway. Oh, I just had to deal with a dog. But the missus come to the rescue and she dealt with him for me. Or glue her to a rubber dinghy and that teacher. Is this classed as a hate crime? I might get struck off. I'll get another strike, I will. There's another hate crime. Cruella Cowardly Man. What's her name there? Suella Braverman. I don't even know if that's her husband's name, isn't it? The Spartans. Oh my god, did anyone see Marc Francois the Spartan? Little tiny Marc Francois. He's like a little barrel. You wheel him anywhere. Like you can. Yeah, it's just he was on the Sky News this morning as well. Oh, and he needs to go to Parliament. He said 'cause he just wants his vote. Yes. Richie Sunak is going there to, well, have discussions with von der Leyen tomorrow. Just basically just, yeah, that's good for us. That'll be good. Yeah, then he's gonna find he's gonna be against a brick wall with the DUP again. I just, they don't want it to work. I just don't see it. I just think it's just gonna be the same old story. Oh, Brian. Oh, cheers, Brian. Oh, you're most kind, buddy. The treats and the diet. Oh, crikey. Do you know what? Diets are expensive. I normally eat a load of rubbish. You can't do it on this diet. It's keto diet. You see, no carbs. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. And the dogs do get through a lot of treats, believe you me. And medication. Fortune, that is. Didn't realise that when we go, oh, 3 dogs, that'll be great. Oh, they're lovely. Oh, yeah, cuddle. And then you go, oh, God. What, more medication? Another 150 quid. Oh, what? 4 weeks later, we run out? Oh, another 150 quid. Oh, crikey. Expensive. Right, anyway. Thanks for that, Brian. Really appreciate it, my friend. Francois is actually, I've got a query. What is that, right? Because obviously we could go on Therese Coffee. I do anyway. It's not. It's Therese. It's got the little what's on it, and it's French. So it's not Teresa. It's Therese or Therese. Therese. Oh, anyway, Therese, and it's she's got a French name, and they got Marc Francois. Got a French name. All the Brexiters have got French names, it seems. Weird names, Rees-Mogg. Did they make that up? They're me. Anyway, RW Max says, who's Zebediah Thomas? Need to check my vid. I just loaded. Oh, just called me Arnie. What? Just Arnie? If your messages don't appear straight away, it's held for review. Oh, he's, yeah, strict he is, I'll tell you. And if it doesn't appear, it's because you're naughty. Yeah, you've been a very naughty boy. My local estate residents association is already considering digging up our greens to start community gardens to grow food for local elders and starving at the moment. Good idea. Thing is it's takes quite a lot of work, you know, to get the soil ready. Not just you didn't get it. Oh, dig it over, it'll be all right. You've got it takes at least 2 seasons for the soil to be in any sort of condition to be successful. I suppose you can add a load of compost on it, I suppose. Make a huge difference. But you know, we didn't. Our first year here growing was pretty poor. And this was arable land, this farmland, but it's because it had been worked. Now it's overworked. Did I hear someone say turnips? Turnips! I think you're blaming the turnips. That's quite a charge. Was that Laura Cousenberg? I did have the clip. I got the clip for that. I haven't actually put it in there yet. Oh, hang on, what's that? Here we go.
Yeah, look, we're in this situation because Boris Johnson lied. He said that his deal...
That's quite a charge.
No, it's true, though, because Boris Johnson said that his deal was oven-ready, and he made it out as if there'd been no issues, and quite obviously there's extreme issues in...
Increasing the volume on that because it's a bit low. Go. Okay. Right. Turnips to you too. Digging through the year 7 tests here. But I mean turnips. Neeps and tatties. Any neeps and tatties done? No? Gosh.
You must feel the force around you.
Mrs. S's. Huh? Put the wood on the fire. That was delayed. I literally just got Brian. I literally just got the notification to say that you've apart from the one that comes up on the chat, literally only just came through as in the we heard it. That's nuts. Blimey. Release the coffee. Alistair, Baldrick's cutting plan. Turnips for everybody. Yes, this, well... Invest in a turnip. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, invest in a turnip. Crazy idea that is.
You must feel the
Gorilla
force
Bravo.
around you.
What a charge. Oh, cheers, Alistair. Aldrich's cunning plan. Cameron was an arch criminal. Back in his shed. Tool with the tools, he is. He took a massive risk at our expense and failed. Yes, most definitely. No one thought, even the Brexiters didn't think that they're going to win, really, did they? No. No, they have. But what have they won? Absolutely diddly squat. I won nothing. Oh, dear. Well, two factors that drove the hell of the 1970s are again present in the United Kingdom today. A shortage of power and crippling inflation. And I'm not just talking about the turnip. No. Even though the Daily Mail, for some reason, has been attempting to, show you this. Yeah. Be positive about the turnip. Surprising health benefits of turnips revealed after Truss Coffee tells struggling families to buy British vegetables to battle rising costs and food shortages. Justify what she said. It's the Daily Mail again. Wonder why? Why would they do such a... Eat a turnip instead. Lovely. Like I say, I'd rather eat a tomato. So yes, the Daily Mail were attempting to prop them up. Yeah. Attempting to prop up the Truss Coffee. But the sheer mass of ridiculous was just too much, it was. It fell flat on its face, it did. Now, forecasts turn out to be accurate. The average householder will be spending around 40% of their budget on gas and electricity. Scary thought, that is. An almost unthinkable amount. Almost, well, a pensioner, a basic pension, just got a bit pension, it's going to be like 60% of their income. Not worse. And we are told that the price of gas has come down. Have you noticed? No, not for you. No. Maybe by the summer, by that time, you won't be worrying about it so much anyway. Now, one chappie, Ben, happens to be 39 years of age. He's a former hospitality worker, and he lives in Warrington, this case does. And at the moment, he's claiming universal credit because he's got some health issues. He's off work at the minute. It's hard, he says. He reckons that it's far worse for many other people. In a sense, I'm fairly, in a privileged situation, he says. And what he means by that is that, he doesn't have any immediate dependence. He's living on his own as well. And he has time on his hands to search out the old bargains on the supermarket shelves if there is any. Yeah, like the reduced Declare shells and stuff like that. The little orange stickers or whatever kind of stickers there might be in your supermarket. Says he can walk anywhere and everywhere instead of getting the bus. I can eat hand to mouth, he says. Sounds quite survivalist, I suppose. Maybe it does. Well, how were you living before? Even, wouldn't have been as bad as it is now. Ben estimates that he has £150 out of the £360 a month universal credit left to cover basic living costs. Now, it's just about doable, he says. And if you adopt a pretty, super thrifty mindset, I bet you have to. Because I'm frugal with fruit and vegetables. Yeah. I think everybody is at the moment. But the turnip is a step too far. He didn't actually say that, but anyway, yogurt was £1 pot, and now it's a £1.50. So that's a luxury. A flipping yogurt is a luxury. It's really indulged. He says that milk often feels a bit extravagant. Ben volunteers at the Wellington Food Bank, part of the Trussell Trust network. There he sees up close the relentless stress endured by people that he believes are stuck in quicksand, working 3 jobs and still can't balance the books. But the energy crisis is just a part of Britain's brokenness, which Richie Sunak is having to face. I don't really think he particularly cares, to be honest. I'm alright, Jack. Still flipping got, well, his wife's business. Well, his wife's father's business is still operating in Russia. But apparently that's okay. Oh, it's my wife's business. Oh, something to do with me. Poppycock. So, dysfunction, incompetence, and poor planning are pervasive from the National Health Service, restrictions on buildings to the country's airports and the courts. And now they're pretty much striking, well, necessary evil, to be honest, but they're striking everywhere. Now, you don't train, this is my point of view, you don't train for several flipping years, do you? Invest in yourself. And a massive student loans and what have you to be, well, just to, well, accept being on the breadline. Why shouldn't you strive to, you know, to have a better standard of life, quality of life? Whatever you're into, whether it be monetary or be able to travel or stuff like that, it all takes money, doesn't it? You know? But these bunch of Tory charlatans, they just want us to be weak and malleable. They want us to turn on each other. So you just blame the migrants. Because they're just...
Coming over here, taking
Apparently.
our jobs and our women.
That's what the Brexiters keep telling us. You don't honestly believe that they want to stop the boats, do you? Those so-called illegals are a rather useful political tool. Well, this idiot got a state of him. What the hell does he think he is? Sorry. Oh, God. The blue shades that do it. And, oh, crikey. Anyway, he certainly is a tool. Now, one can wait forever, dear doctor. The number of patients who have waited more than a year for treatment has grown by 13 times. And Nigel Farage here, he's partly to blame, you know. He really is. And if it wasn't for Brexit, we might be having people coming from the EU. You know? From Europe. According to the British Medical Association, this is. And the consequences that it's just, well, prolonged suffering. And untimely deaths. And a nation in poor health. Which has a smaller and, well, shrinking workforce. Which is also present in, well, British government statistics, without the ability to replace retiring doctors, nurses, etc. Example. I say we can't replace people from the EU. Some people say, well, we shouldn't be taking people from their, you know, where they need qualified doctors and nurses. I don't think it's quite as bad doing it in the EU as it is from African countries, for which we're doing at the moment, and India and places like. Because India might be a rich country in a sense. The population is extremely high and the poverty is. I'm sure Modi's okay. He'll be alright, yeah. So, Brexit has been a massive shot in the gajibas as far as finding a workforce, a functioning workforce in the United Kingdom. They're quite happy to stay put now anyway. Now, as with other basic government services, Dentistry is in a state of collapse. Also, well, dentists are not even, they're not even taking on any patients, let alone children. Put them all around. Not taking on any patients, and especially children. Not especially children, including children. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I would hope there'd be preferential treatment for children, but apparently not. No. So instead, DIY dentistry seems to be the way forward for the United Kingdom. These sort of videos are popping up all over the internet at the moment. DIY dentistry videos. Such as the iconic string tied to a doorknob, or even a pair of long-nosed pliers stolen from Dad's mechanic's toolbox. Meanwhile, the current local authorities are unable to meet the responsibilities of, well, municipal government. And according to James Kirkup, director of the Social Market Foundation think tank, oh, we love think tanks, don't we? Over 90% of crimes aren't being solved. No. Wasn't really. Yet prisons, well, they're filling up there. Left, right and centre. Filling at a rate of knots. And the financial fraud is rampant and unstoppable as well, especially with our government. If someone drains your bank account, it's not necessarily worth your while even going to the old police station to report it. No. They're not interested in those sort of crimes at the moment. They're rushed off their feet. Where there's poverty, there is crime. How many times have I said that? Then there's the political corruption, which has been normalised by Alexander Boris the Faithful Johnson. Well,
Let's get Brexit done.
yeah, him. And his cabinet. And then you got, well, Liz Truss's cabinet. Same there. And now Richie Sunak's cabinet. Get rid of his Chancellor as well. What's Chancellor? His name though. They're all at it. Then we've got the breakdown of Britain's largest, one of two. They keep talking about one or the other, but they're pretty much the same. Aircraft carrier, the HMS Prince of Wales, which was meant to set off for a 4-month tour. North America last year. But it seems rather fitting and symbolic, it does. The state of things. The fact that they can't even get the munitions on board. Well, the ship's gone out for a month trip. And it's only got about half what it should have on there. It's not fully stocked with munitions. Well, they never know what's going to be around the corner, do they? Seems a bit crazy to me. So yes, it's on a 4-month tour of North America last year. Prince of Wales better broke down, didn't it? Yeah. Drop shaft on the Prince of Wales. Alignment issues. It's still in Scotland. Having repairs done. But it was probably a bit of a relief, actually. Otherwise, the Queen Elizabeth, HMS Queen Elizabeth, all it says be fighting over munitions last week when it was being refilled, because there wouldn't have been, they'd half again, wouldn't it? They just don't have enough to go around. No. And Kirkup, he argues he does, that the structural shortfall in public services arises from an awkward truth of British politics, that we want to pay American taxes and expect European services. But politics, well, is broken too. And the hard choices that need to be made just simply are not. As long as it's not, well, cut taxes. Yeah, because that didn't work last. Well, politics are now the art of the possible. And the more our extended game of a fancy role play for those in power. What sort of fancies Richie Sunak? No, leave it in the comments. And even for those in the opposition who seek to replace him, and they call us the radical left. How is it radical to expect? Well, just a fit wage, a fair wage. And the NHS to be fit for service. Oh, Bernie Sanders was also saying this morning on Sky with Sophie Ridge, you want to be looking to improve your NHS. You do not want to be heading towards an American-style system. No, the American guy was on a visit to the United Kingdom, and he needed to get himself an inhaler. So he got himself an inhaler from a pharmacy. Cost him 15 quid it did, from the pharmacy. So he made a video clip and he put it online, and he said, keep your NHS. Because in the United States, we would have paid $250 for that inhaler. Where's all the money go? Just feeds the rich, insurance schemes, etc. in that case. Privatisation. Doesn't work for the people. No, it just works for the 1%. The richest 1%. Brainwashing people is what they just want you. Yeah. And last year, after returning from his visit in Ukraine. I never got to talk about. I wonder. Alexander Boris the Pfeffel Johnson. Yeah, little visit, didn't he, to Kiev. When he got back, he sounded a bit like a Mad Hatter. In his detachment from reality. No. We have made the long-term decisions, including on domestic energy supply, apparently, to ensure that our bounce back can be, well, and should be remarkable. And our future will be golden. Well, that didn't work. No. And you got the wet letters. Truss. At least she acknowledged that the United Kingdom might have some problem. Don't say. At least she said that. What her problem is. I mean, skeletons. Spooks. Closet. And Chucky. Maybe. Transfixed then. So, anyway, I'll just get back into the chat. Oh, for that. If I were the army guy, I would be thinking, I want to shoot you. Oh, but I'll have to smile instead. Hello, Nicorn. Hello, buddy. Hope you're well. There is one way to resolve the food shortages. Well, eat the rich. And the gammons. Gammon. Don't forget the gammons. There's plenty of them. Just soak them in brine first. You make them into hams. Oh, hope Lee's fine. Hope you're well, buddy. There's one way to resolve this. Eat the rich. Sounds like a really good plan to me. You're not going to get a lot of meat off Jacob Rees-Mogg, though. Tell you what you need to do. Now, if I was doing pork scratchings, I'd get myself a Talissa coffee. I would stick it on the top grill. Yeah, top of the oven. All the fats, do my scratchings and stuff. Obviously, I'd skinned at that point, and and I've done them with little slices and I've salted them, what have you. Get the little scratching, And then I'd put it on the shelf below. As you're doing the rotisserie, all the dripping comes off and it keeps, it makes fantastic crackling. It really would. Yeah, itchy pigs. No? You don't want a Teresa coffee scratching? No. No meat on the mog? No, there isn't. Don't eat me! Too much gristle! No meat on the mog. There certainly is not. Liz Truff. Pork markets and all that. Or you could just... Oh.
We need to fund the furthest behind first. And for too long, the political debate has been dominated by the argument about how we distribute a limited economic pie. Instead, we need to grow the pie so that everyone gets a bigger slice.
A bigger slice of the pie? Oh no. Poor little old Liz Truss got beaten by lettuce, you know. Hello, Lee. Not that I'm suggesting such a thing. I'm vegetarian after all. So is my missus. She's vegetarian. Is your dear missus vegetarian? Are your kids vegetarian? Lee? Are you a vegetarian family? Are you forced it upon them? Have they had bacon yet? We could turn them with a slice of bacon. Oh dear. There's one way to resolve who Georges eat the rich. I have to admit, I would go for that. I really would actually. I think I could eat just in spite. If you were to eat the rich, how would you cook a rich person? And would you use their immense wealth as a way of creating the fire? Or just spend the money and get an oven? Maybe. A big oven, obviously. Let's at it again, yeah. Sorry, we're short of them. No lettuces, no. Vegans probably taste the best. I'm only saying they probably do. Liz Truss signed a deal to save the United Kingdom. It's worth 1 million over 5 years. So that's like billions. Really? Okay, take care, Bastinor. Gotta go, says Bastinor. Everyone, try to get along without me. Oh, we'll try. What a disgrace. Suppose we could do that one. Okay. Oh, press.
That is a disgrace.
That certainly is, wouldn't you say? Total and utter disgrace. Put her on the spit in their own fireplace. Well, here in France, we have these like hook things that you put your pots on and stuff, and also you have like a metal framework you put in the fireplace. I can't remember because I've got wood burn there, but we can do it. If you get hold of her for me, we can do it here if you want. Yeah, I've got a spit, and I've got one of them big metal things as well. It would be some tremendous gearing though, wouldn't it? And so maybe some, I don't know, some needle bearings or something like that on the ends. Obviously, there's quite a lot of friction there. Yeah, might heat up, mightn't it? Pork markets! Oh, God's sake, okay. I don't know if I got that actually. Have I got pork markets? Oh, I have.
In December, I'll be in Beijing, opening up new pork market.
Pork pies with loads of gravy, no meat, maybe, a bit of gristle. You'd have to cook it really slow, wouldn't you? Render that meat, or render the fat. There's Mad Monk. Oh yeah, so render that fat right down, can't you? Render it down, cook long and slow, and a quick blast at the end, or maybe even at the beginning. Probably at the end. A quick blast at the end, just to give it a bit of a crust, you know, make it a little bit crispy around the edges. Sounds like a bit of basting. Got a little bit of basting. Yeah. Well, you need one hell of a turkey baster, wouldn't you? A Teresa baster. What baster would you need for that? You need an army of basters. You know she's only 51. I think she's only 52 now. Years old. Yeah, I'm no fan of Teresa Coffee. Horrible person. Deserves everything she gets. How strong is your fireplace? Will it withstand the weight? That's a very valid point. It's quite a strong fireplace, I have to admit. It's got like big solid oak things coming out the walls. So if it isn't strong enough, the whole wall's going to come down. But I don't know. It's a bit mean now, mate. You'd spend over a week rendering down all. I can't talk because I'm fat. That's why I'm on a diet, you see. At least I'm doing something about it, I suppose. Trying to. I lost a little bit. Lost about 5 kilos now. Not too bad. Just under 5 kilos. Sentinel Island. Oh yes. In the Azores, they bury the food and cook. Oh, it's a bit like you do a goat. You do a goat curry. You start basically dig a big hole. Big enough to get your goat in, or your toilet coffee. You need obviously a JCB for that. But apparently, she knows somebody who has a company for JCB. Anyway, you need something like a JCB excavator to dig a big hole for that, and you put it in there. But before you do that, you start the fire. And you render it, let the fire go down. It's a bit like charcoal, but it's still burning. And then you wrap your meat in foil. In this case, try to keep all the moisture in. Then obviously clean, or a big pot, like a big iron pot. If you can get an iron pot big enough to put Tories coffee in, I don't know if it's possible. Anyway, you put it in the hole, and then you cover it with soil and dig it up later. Probably about several hours, or in her case, a month later, maybe. It'd be better to butcher it first. Or to bury them alive, says Joa. Okay. This is getting a bit far, isn't it? Oh, dear. What, the ice pillow? What do you mean about the ice pillow?
Kipper. This kipper, which has been presented to me just now by the editor of a national newspaper, who received it from a kipper smoker in the Isle of Man, who is utterly furious because after decades of sending kippers like this through the post, he has had his costs massively increased by Brussels bureaucrats who have insisted that each kipper must be accompanied by a plastic ice pillow. Pointless, expensive, environmentally damaging health and safety.
The case described by Mr. Johnson falls outside the scope of the EU legislation, and it's purely a UK national competence.
Well, that was him told. Yes, another blonde, the blonde wonder, or was it a blonde blunder? Because it was wasn't even true. Was it upside down for anybody? Because it was the right way up for me. Yeah, it's the right way up. Blimey. But even oven ready. Oh my god, the oven ready. Oh my crikey, you don't have an oven ready.
Oven
ready, Kofi.
Put it in the microwave.
Put her in the microwave. No, crikey, that would be a microwave and a half, that would. You've got to cook it first, really, haven't you? Long and slow. Oh dear. Would she puff more? God. Every time I hear about smelly fish, I have a vision of my ex-wife. Don't know why. Oh dear. We don't want detail, no. No ice pillows in our fish hair. We use just ice. It's more convenient. Ridiculous idea, isn't it? It's fine now. Oh, that's good, good. Bury the Tories upside down. Oh, wish we could. Oh, it makes a right mess. Police a mess. I'm nice and puff up more. Would she puff up more? God, Bennett. Poor guy must be keeped all the time, or kippered.
Kipper.
Yeah, maybe. These people don't care about you. No, they don't. Oh, that's your handle. 4-letter C word. Right, where was I anyway? Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Anyway, doggy cam. Oh, it's just one now. Run off. Oh, she does such a sprawl. She looks like a panda now, doesn't she? With a grey beard. She's the youngest as well. Got a grey beard. It's because she had an accident with a ram. Yeah, a ram rammed her. Bust will jaw up, and within weeks, started going grey. She was pure black, just like a bolt of lightning down her belly. Now she's like a little fat barrel. Oh dear. What can you say? So, where was I? So the Wet Lettuce Trust has at least acknowledged that the UK might have a few problems. You don't say. She's equally boosterish in talking up the whole world class, wasn't she? World class Britain, she said. And it will always be, she said. And then quickly destroyed the pension fund with quasi-quatrains, well, which Andrew Bailey and the Bank of England had to bail us all out, really, for the pensions. By selling off, well, government bonds. Now, this was after quasi-quatrain, well, he scared the markets, he did. When he and old Liz, trust. Well, they had to spend 160 odd billion, didn't they? To prop up, people's energy bills and what have you. You know, that was above a certain cost. But such a policy really cannot exist. Not when you want to do widespread tax cuts. No. Everybody's getting a bit nervous in the markets, aren't they? That's what she campaigned on, wasn't it? You know, tax cuts for all. Up top there. Yeah, the richest, that is. But they did nothing to increase energy supply. Oh. And the country was pushed further into fuel inflation. And when I was working down Interconnector in Bacton gas plant, they were telling me that the country only has around 2 weeks worth of gas backup, and that was back then. This would have been, when was it? 2008, 2009, when I was down there doing contract work. 2 weeks. 2 weeks! Yeah, 2 weeks. And the country was pushed further into fuel inflation. And the UK's, well, the next election, looming. And if the prices continue to rise, well, it's going to justify more strikes. Pretty much every sector of the economy. And rather like in the 1970s when Ted Heath, Conservative government was then paralysed by industrial action in 1974, calling an election. Well, this government's pretty much it's paralysed by industrial action too. Not stopping anytime soon, is it? It's calling on an election on the question of who governs Britain. Confidently expected the voters to decide the answer. Must be him. But they did not. The next general election, it looms, doesn't it? I'm all looking forward to a Labour government. With some hubris, I must admit. Yeah. Fortunate. Necessary. Yeah, it's a necessary. It's not necessary evil. Can't see how. Just can't see how they're going to pull us out of this mess without some kind of alignment in the single market. I'll see what they've trapped themselves is what they've done. Anyway, yes. So a Labour government with some hubris, I would say. Haste. But at least the polls suggest that they are in the lead. But they really have a massive, massive hill to climb. They keep chanting that old slogan, make Brexit work. Oh. So you should expect more shortages and price increases no matter who's in power, to be fair. God. Certainly won't be any turnips. Make you wonder, doesn't it? And then you've got shortages of power. Crikey, that's not going to get any better anytime soon either. Get the image up there. Messed that one up. It's all got from bad to worse, and what will we do? Makes you wonder. Well, little article I want to share with you as well in the moment. So check the chat. Oh, back in the chat again. Hi from Broken Britain. Hello, Annette. Annette, Elex. Anything would be better than the Tories? Yeah, of course I would. You know. Pretty much anything. Even the Reform Party. Would that be better? I don't know, that might be pushing it a little bit far, mightn't it? Yeah. Richard Lice. Oh, can you imagine him? as your Prime Minister. A hook shot. That's a scary thought in itself. But yeah, he's there's obviously less of, well, more than less of. Keir Starmer's not bad. I don't think Keir Starmer's bad case, but it's all this flipping make Brexit work like this. I don't think they needed to do that because things are so bad anyway. They're going to get in anyway. It's all about how much majority they're going to have in government so they can reverse things that have been done. Like the leasing bill. They want to reverse that. And hopefully they do. The right to protest is democracy. Peter Bone, oh my god, just said Brexit was going great guns. But he certainly did put the cross in the wrong box, he did. Oh, crikey. He's horrible, isn't he? Peter Bone. You referring me again with a massive hill. A massive hill. Sarah Dodger Kofi. Oh my god. Is that a new handle? Who were you before? Sarah Dodger Kofi. We need the MRLP government yesterday, says Alf Smith.
You must feel the force.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Oh, cheers, Alistair. Thank you. Old enough to remember the power cuts 3 days a week. Oh, they were the days. Do you have rickets? Curvy too? We don't have a prime minister. We have a bunch of bank robbers. They are a bunch of bank robbers. They're all in the... Well, oh, cheers, buddy.
You must feel the force around you.
Marcus is the best, says Vipek. Import to the UK these days. Pure joy. Yeah. Import what, though? Turnips. Oh, the thing about things like turnips, you see, they do store quite a long while, you see, turnips. Unlike tomatoes, soft crops like that. And, but they can be grown in various environments. But if you when you buy tomatoes this time of year, they don't taste great anyway, do they? Most of the forced greenhouse stuff isn't particularly tasty. Thick skin's very watery. Can't compare a tomato that we grow in our greenhouse over the summer period in season to what you get in the shop. Just don't. Yes, but you can find them in the shops. Not in the UK, but here. They're everywhere. Oh, juicy ripe tomato. Everywhere. Not literally everywhere, in the shops. You know. And Grand Fray. Oh, Grand Fray's brilliant, it is. Oh, there we go. Oh, Mrs. just sent me this picture over. Okay. Is that Emmanuel Macron with his, a little boy with his tomatoes? And then we got, this is what we, this has been like our daily kind of catch. The greenhouse. But we get peppers and stuff like that as well in the greenhouse. We'd get that during the season, we get that about every day. And we jar it and stuff. Or do sun-dried tomatoes and stuff. I've got a big dryer. But yeah. I'm looking after myself, Jack. Oh, I am. I'm back. He's back, says who? Who's Zebediah Thomas is back? I'm back. Like a bad rash that you tried hard to get rid of. Or scratching. Or shit. Opera. What is that about? People get confused between the turnip and the rab. Kohlrabi. Yeah. I said, when's when they're getting rid of him anyway? He's still here. Lee said I managed to find a bag of cherry tomatoes in Lidl, but they were not very ripe, but they're green. Probably just firm and just watery, probably, and have hard skins. Have the Tories blame Putin yet for food shortages? They will. They'll blame somebody. They'll blame the immigrants in the little boats, I'll say. I came here when I was a kid. I was able to see it making my country better. Now, I do not forget clean rivers and not clean drop in it. In Portugal, the EU is doing its job. Swedes are not turnips. I know. What are people about turnips? Swede is a Swede. A turnip is a turnip. A kohlrabi is a kohlrabi. Usually, Swedes are good in Cornish pasties. Swedes and Cornish pasties. Or Swede mash. Even turnip mash is not too bad. You put it with a lot of stuff, you see. It's turnips. But, yeah, like I said, turnips have got a lot of sugars in them. They're not even proper colour. They're a bit pale. A lot of tomatoes. Even here, unless you go like Grand Fry, whatever, but in the normal supermarket, find that they're not. Unless you're going to spend a lot of money, the basic kind of like money maker type tomato, they're a bit. They're okay if you grill them and stuff like that. They're fine, absolutely fine. But just as a salad tomato is a bit. If you, so why would you eat it? There are nicer things to eat. Chatty Rat says, my mum grew up in southern Portugal and... oh, no, but Tourist says, sorry, to Chatty Rat. In southern Portugal, and there was a big tradition of doing it when she was a kid. Do what? I missed something here. Okay, I've missed something here. Okay. The Dardone is... Oh, mackerel on the south coast of Orwell in the 30s. Very good mackerel runs in the summer would keep a family going through the winter, layering and salting the fish barrels. I'm not keen on mackerel in tins. They just seem to have a funny taste to them. Proper mackerel off a fish can. And you filter it yourself. Bit of a nightmare film. But you can do it. Very, very sharp and thin knife. Oh, Neanderthal! Oh my god, didn't you just? Oh, I cook it either. That is leathery, like an old boot. Very cold in Canada. It's cold. It's cold there today, so God's what it is over there. I'm surprised it didn't say let meat cake. Won't be the first time they said that. Oh dear. 8 more tests. Scrolling up. Missed anything? Nope. A turnip documentary. Very interested in that one. What? Lee says, I'm doing a video on my quest to find turnips in the supermarket. In the supermarket. Really? Leeks are next, apparently, by the way. There's going to be a shortage of leeks. So, yeah. There's loads here. Loads of leeks, loads of... Because the French do actually eat turnips quite a bit. Navet, tartiflette and stuff like that. Navet is the turnip. But, they do eat a lot of turnip. But turnips, like I said earlier, they are actually quite sweet. They're actually quite... I don't know what you do with them. I'm not keen still. They're not my cup of tea. They're not my turnip. Rutabaga, as they call them in the USA, turnip Swedes. Swedes not just for Christmas. The thing is, as someone said earlier, a turnip is not a Swede. Or is it what they call them there? It's like celerak as well, isn't it? You know, we do they call it celery here, and it's they grate it and put it in like mayonnaise and stuff, and it's actually really nice. And it's quite low on carbs. These people care about says Marks and Spencer's is the best bet for veg. They pay more to the hauliers. That's it. And the same with like the farm stores and and the grocers and stuff like that. But these supermarkets, they've destroyed a lot of the corner stores, haven't they? And the little veg stores. They found they can't compete. And now where it's left, you know, you kind of need those places. Besides, they can't make any money. They have to charge a lot more for it. But your fruit and veg, I think your fruit and veg in the United Kingdom is not for everything, but a lot of it is a lot cheaper than what we can for us. The other day, there was some cauliflowers for $4.50. The $4.89 it was. But when I went and done that video, I was 215. So it goes up and down all the time. What you'll find seasonal veg here is it's very much reflected in the price. Seasonal. And I'm sure some of you remember you didn't used to be able to get with, like tomatoes and stuff like that all year round. No? No. Wait. Things used to be different. Oh, the good old days. When I used to make my own cottage cheese. Smoke woodbines. Well, actually, I never did because I've never smoked. So there you go. Right, there we go. So, up we go. I'm gonna find my article. Go up. There it is. I was on my wrong notepad. Oh, oh. But, you know what it's like waiting for this 50-odd years, isn't it?
But the structural reforms that we're about to deliver include the Brexit Freedoms Bill. The Brexit Freedoms Bill is a fantastic piece of legislation, defining constitutional piece of legislation that will remove the dead hand of EU laws from our statute book finally. There are over 2,400 EU laws that will be amended or repealed.
Right, well, there's this article. There's this article. Happened to be in The Guardian. Oh my god, I need to... Quite handy because The Guardian is one of them formats. Some paper, newspaper format. Guardian. The Guardian. Right. This was today by Jay Rayner. You might have seen it, might not. You can blame the weather and Brexit, but there's more to the UK's food supply crisis. Blame it, Brexit. It's Brexit! They just wanted a Brexit, that's what they wanted. The empty supermarket shelves aren't just a blip. They're a system of systematic, or system dysfunctional. A dysfunctional system, like I was saying earlier. In October 2014, sorry, I told DEFRA Select Committee, not me personally, no, that we needed to start paying more for our food. If we did not do so, we risked paying vastly more later and experiencing of shortages and supply resulting in empty shelves. For decades, the supermarket sector had been given a free run at our food supply chain by governments of both stripes. Just a dozen companies, saying earlier, control 95% of the UK's food retail, and use that economic might to force such drastically tight deals on producers that many, they went out of business. Our self-sufficiency it's withered. Well, we don't make anything anymore. We don't really. Well, we do make some stuff, but we certainly don't grow much. Import most of our food. Yeah. Now I said, at a serious risk of external shocks disrupting our food supply because we were so dependent on imports. Yeah, I would say he's right, wouldn't you? I didn't expect one of those external shocks to be self-inflicted. But then Brexit vote came along, and anyone with even a passing knowledge of how deformed our food system had become knew it would have a drastic impact, and it certainly has. You know, food isn't, it's not... What food is destined for the United Kingdom isn't really getting to the north, unfortunately, so... Worse, the further north that you are, Scotland for instance, the worse off that you are regarding supermarket shelves not having tomatoes. Probably not turnips now. And now, here we are in 2023, with shelves emptied of salad vegetables and rationing in supermarkets. It is solely a product of our leaving the EU? No, of course not. The fact that bug-eyed Brexiters cling to, yes, there have been weather issues. But isn't it curious that the supply problems have not been replicated in Spain, France, even Ukraine? That the local social media pump with pictures on the stalls groaning with fresh produce. I showed you a picture earlier of Grand Fray. And just, wow, there's lots of juicy, red, ripe tomatoes. Oh, they look so good as well. They look like they've just been plucked off the bush. I think I'll have that with a Chianti. We are capable of growing salad vegetables under glass in the United Kingdom all year round, but not enough to meet supply, but certainly enough to deal with shortfalls. And there are those who claim grandly that there's something intrinsically distasteful and wrong about eating such foods out of season. I wonder who that was. I wonder. Maybe it's
a lot of people would be eating turnips right now rather than thinking necessarily about aspects of lettuce and tomato.
And we have to make do with turnips. But what's to misunderstand is the history of agriculture. Humanity has been interfering with how and when crops grow since wild grasses were first domesticated on the banks of the Nile thousands of years ago. It's called progress. The problem is that growing salad vegetables in the UK has been made economically unviable, both by those short-sighted supermarkets and in part large, well, because a whole load of numpties put that cross in the wrong box. Brexit. I just want my Brexit. Growers in, the Lee Valley area around London, regarding Britain's salad bowl it was. Well, they started to, knock down dozens of acres, well, actually hectares of greenhouses. Panic greenhouses. Yeah. So the land can be used more profitably for housing, etc., as the Lee Valley Growers Association has explained. The post-Brexit seasonal workers scheme only granted 6-month visas when they were needed for 9 months. It meant bringing in 2 cohorts, and double the training. That means extra costs which are not being met by the supermarkets. All about contracts, you see, that signed up probably 6 months to a year ago. Then came the energy crisis. The government chose not to subsidise the energy costs for growers. Last week, APS Group, one of the largest tomato growers in the country, admitted it had left some of its glass houses unplanted for the first time in almost 75 years. The last year, I can't remember when this was. I think this was probably about October last year. No, probably earlier than that. Maybe around October. September, October last year, I think it was. And I was did a video about how a greenhouse grower of cucumbers and many other, he was just one of the greenhouse growers on that particular site of greenhouses. Hectares and hectares of greenhouses. But the whole site is going up for planning. They knock all the greenhouses down. Well, he said that his energy bill went up to 17 million a year. Just for his energy bill for his set of greenhouses. So yes, he said some of his greenhouses have been unplanted for the first time in almost 75 years. Some would argue that the supermarkets are refusing to pay more because they can't pass on the costs. Already hard-pressed consumers battling a cost of living crisis. That suggests that we should pay more for our food when so many are reduced to using food banks. Well, it does seem rather insensitive, but saying that, on a business, isn't it? You've got to make money, otherwise you can't invest in the following year. Supermarkets are making massive profits. Their markups are quite large because they're squeezing everybody. But if we structure our food system so that those in poverty can access it, we will only further damage our agricultural base, apparently. We need, on the one hand, to deal with the functioning of our food system, and on the other hand, with poverty. with a chronically unequal distribution of wealth, we need to stop talking about food poverty and call it just what it is, poverty. Turning overseas to overseas markets for our supply, when there has been a disruption, does not, of course, make things cheaper. It makes them vastly more expensive. Bunker fuel, for instance. And time. Time is the issue. Because when you get your crops, when you get your food from your supermarkets, have you noticed how, when you get out the wrappers and what have you, don't last? Is that why nearly everything I've seen in British supermarkets are pretty much all, well, in packets? Are they under some sort of kind of, well, a pod? Well, the supermarkets have been able to get some stock, but the wholesalers supplying other parts of the economy, like the hospitality sector, independent shops, have been left very short. The supermarket rationing has been introduced in part to stop those smaller businesses buying what they need from supermarkets. So they've been scuppered in both directions. If you do have a local store who was going to the supplier and been scuppered by the supermarkets, then they've been going to the supermarkets trying, get a little bit of stock, and then the supermarkets say, no, go away. So why is the UK not being supplied as it once was? Could it be, or could it have something to do with getting trucks through the borders, mired in post-Brexit paperwork? Doesn't help. Such lorry drivers, for instance. Oh, I was got to do something then, but I don't know if I will. No, better not. Oh, go on then.
All the bread or not?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, then we take them all. I'm sorry.
And
Yeah.
ham sandwiches.
Can I take off the meat and leave me the bread?
No, everything will be confiscated. Welcome to the Brexit, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
And last week on social media, about border checks adding hours to their shifts, far easier than to get stock to supermarkets across borderless Schengen zone. Well, if you're, a lorry driver in the EU and you're told, well, we need you to go to the UK, and then then you find out you're going to be, you've done it once, maybe twice, so you know what the score is. You're not going to do it again, are you? Farage garage somewhere, although they're all been shut. There's only one that's operating now, and there's not operating fully. What waste money was that? So this is the problem with running down British agriculture and depending, on imports too much. In 2006, Labour published a paper on food security, nicknamed In Food Cycles, the Leave It to Tesco report, because it argued that in a globalised world, a rich UK could buy its way out of any supply issues. Then we had Brexit. It failed to recognise the growing dominance of emerging economies like India and China, which were buying the crops that we wanted. But at least we had the EU and ease of supply. And then we left it. Like a whole load of numpties that we are. Madness. Absolute madness. And in a few weeks, perhaps a few months, the current problems will ease. The shelves will be full again. And, those with an interest in doing so will insist it was just a blip. And it isn't just a blip. It's a symptom of a dysfunctional food system. It's a symptom of an overly mighty supermarket sector failing to behave like the custodian of food supply chain as it has become. And yes, it is also a symptom of Brexit. I agree. It's all Brexit. Brexit. It's got to be Brexit. Brexit plays a very, very strong role here, doesn't it? Oh dear. Well, up we go again. Up we go again. Let's try and bring that down. I hope the image has been okay. We got a new internet, so it should be reasonably, fluid, I hope. So, you see them as it's, because obviously, but I hope the definition's good. No? Okay. Food prices have already risen, says Lee Corn. They have. I have to be fair. Well, you know what the food prices are here in France, Lee Corn. So they're not cheap, you know. But the growers here, what do they do? You know, the farmers and what have you. If you go, they feel they're being screwed. What they do is they dump trailers of horse poop in Lidl's car parks and places like that. Or they use the muck spreaders and spray the Mary. That's what they do here in France. They have power. Every city hall here has begun urban farms where everybody and anybody can get a plot and plant food. That's a bit like the allotment schemes. Now, allotment schemes in the United Kingdom, they're very popular. And it's very hard to get them because you've got a very long wait list. And my sister tried to get on an allotment scheme, had a 17-year waiting list on it. Oh, doggy cam! Oh, I got a doggy! Got more. That's John. I bet he's gone upstairs, isn't he? Smashes the white dog. Right. Oh, that's really... That's half a half. Yours solemnly. Left-handed throw. Left-handed throw. Oh, she... Nearly. She's got it. She's safe. Right. One more. Oh, please, Daddy. Right, there we go. Checking the chat. Oh, dear. I would have thought that corruption Portugal would have worse than Portugal prior to the 74 revolution. Look at what happened with post-war Italy and the corruption went on over there. Yeah, building all those buildings, like what's going on in Turkey as well, and the money ends up in the mafia. Then aerated concrete, just corroding the steel, and the steel's so badly done. It's too close to the surface for a start. Now I talked this before. I went for a walk around Italy with the missus, and that with the dogs, and the dogs, and they went under one of the flyover things, you know, bridge, viaduct or whatever. Anyway, when concrete was in such a state, I mean, it was like flipping out. Lorries, you could hear them, and it just looked, oh God, it's going to collapse any minute. Rot, and just the concrete was all blowing all over the place. Just wires, all yeah, the reinforcing rods are everywhere, rusting. Yeah, didn't look very strong. Not at all. And that was, yeah, that's not going to be a single example, is it? It's going to be multiple examples. Lee Corn says, I'm surprised the Geminati haven't blamed the EU for punishing us for, well, Brexit. Why not supply the salad and tomatoes? Yeah. Okay. It's all the EU's fault you got those salad and tomatoes. Not getting that far. No. You might get as far as maybe... You might get to Kent. Maybe. Oh, latest. Last test. Yay. I'm surprised again, Minardi, and blame the EU. I will be up for hours. Got to go to USA after here. What? I've got to go to the USA up after here, and it's only 5 p.m. in New York, 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon in LA, and Sunday. Oh my God. Oh, moderating. Oh, cool. Busy time for me. Moderating Dang Man? I don't know who he is. Who's Dang Man? Who's Zebediah Thomas? My grandfather wrote to Salazar asking for help. And he was more or less an important figure in the Bakers' Union with 7 kids to feed. Salazar wrote him back and sent him money. Oh. I write him a letter. The corn says Jeremy Corbyn loves his allotment and Putin. He loves whores. Oh, I'm starting. Side Hustle says these people don't care about you. Of holding up pizza delivery drivers. Yeah, pizzas, they always have tomatoes. Yeah. It's probably going to be replaced with some kind of turnip paste. If you can get turnips, that is. I checked. There was none in Tesco's online, and there was none in Asda online. Where else was it? Found. Aldi having the advert. The jellyfish was named after... Oh, the jellyfish was named after the English. I didn't know that. Bayberg! Hello, Bayberg. I hope you're well, my friend. One good thing about construction industry in my neck of the woods was the small detail of being a possible battlefield of the future. We built houses like bunkers up to a point, of course. You think of the old properties, like the council housing estates and what have you. My father worked on one, which was the Heartsease estate, and it was a bit of a rough area at the top. You know, not now so much. There's still rough parts of areas, but anyway, my father was Carter's construction firm. Anyway, building these houses. And they were built in the rough. Okay, what we don't want to have to maintain them too much, so everything was strong. Okay? The concrete gutters and all that sort of stuff, all moulded it into like the top course of brickwork, stuff like that. And like the old 1930s, 1940s old council houses with old red brick, Norfolk Reds or Leicester Reds, and they'd be on plots of land, very long. Some cases about 100 meters long by about 40 metres wide. Because the idea was that people used to grow food. Everyone had long gardens. You know, it's ideal for veggie plots. We used to kind of, be relatively self-sustainable, to grow stuff. And I love growing stuff. You know, I've got a garden at home. I've been rotivating today, yeah. Rotivating. And we're moving one of our greenhouses as well. So, the only thing is, the only place that really goes well, put trees. I rewilding, planting trees. 1,000 trees on 2 hectares. Just we've got a whole load of trees that have been propagated. God, that'd be the ideal place to move this greenhouse. There's the trees there now, so that won't be happening. No, can't put them in the ground yet, anyway. Hello, Mellow. Hope you're well. If Ken and all south of the UK weren't so racist, we wouldn't have Brexit. I think you probably got a fair point there. It does shock me sometimes. People who don't think they're racist, quite often are. Like my little video earlier of Nick Ferrari. I was just finding clips about him, and he's so I mashed them together. And some things he said are clearly racist, but he doesn't see it as such. Even when he tried to make a point that it wasn't about race or anything, is it because of feel that Eastern Europe compatible with the United Kingdom and stuff like that. Crikey, really? And he's going on about Turkey invaded by Turks. God's sake. Oh, the man. He's terrible. He had a body wrap or something done, didn't he? He's just, to get rid of his moobs. Stuff like that. Yeah, okay. Cool, isn't it? Have a turnip in the morning keeps you regular. I should know. Turnips, we used to grow turnips, but turnips are quite they're pain in the neck to grow because they're really subject to bugs like flea beetle and stuff like that. They just strip the leaves off them, and then you get little larvae, they're like a little worm burrow in the sides of them. Even you same sort of worm that'd be out to eat radishes and stuff like that. But when you do on the raised beds, it's not so much of a problem with radishes you see in the salad crops because they grow so fast. They don't really get a chance to be a problem. But when you've got a crop like turnips, which take a lot longer to grow, they're so prone to disease and pests. Not disease, but pests. Lemon flea beetle. Can't get them. They're very hard to get rid of unless you use pesticides, which I don't want to do. And you walk past them, they will jump off. And little fleas, but they're not. They're beetles. They jump off. And what you have to do is you have to like sticky. You put like lollipop sticks with sticky pads on. Sticky. They don't get stuck on there. It helps. It doesn't cure it though. Moto Takagi. He was a financial minister first, a very intelligent man, but also cold and brutally effective in weeding out opposition. From 1926 onwards, him and the military ruled the country. Oh, blimey. Reese Slug attacks Slug. Jacob Reese Slug attacks turnips. Lovely. Oh dear. Oh god, that's the favourite line, isn't it, from most racists? Oh, I have a black friend. I'm not racist because I've got my best friend's black. God's sake. Oh. Tired of almost everything. Nearly cried this morning. Don't cry. Thinking about all this mess they puts into. Tired of everything. Nearly cried. I don't cry, Mellow. It's a big mess though, and it's horrible. Some of it's really, really horrible. I tell you what brings tears to my eyes when I see these kids being pulled out of these buildings from this earthquake. I get quite emotional about that. I find it's heart wrenching. Little boy, it was on. You might have saw it. He got pulled out of the rubble. Families all got crushed, and likely to lose his legs and stuff like that. Then died in hospital anyway. So, I just can't imagine it, And also, you feel, I don't know, kind of feel helpless as well, because you feel, I want to do something to help, but how can you really, what can you do? I don't know. Daniel Craigie goes, I'm just having a turnip and milkshake. Tell me how it goes and tell me if you bring it back up again, because that sounds absolutely disgusting. Oh my god. Nick Abbott, the other week, he was running down the old air fryer, he was. Although they're not a perfect thing. Yes, you can cook chips in an air fryer. So you can't cook chips in an air fryer. Yes, you can cook chips, fries in an air fryer. Most definitely. Most definitely can. They're not perfect, you just got to know how to do it. Can't beat a fryer though. An actual fryer is definitely better. But an air fryer is fast. It means it's fast. It uses a lot less energy. Hell of a lot less energy than an oven or we use our air fryer a lot. It's good. Hello, if hang on, that's correct. They're not ready. Joe says a grandfather wrote back thinking that the 1,000 escogos later he received another letter and got another letter. Wow. What? Letter and 1,000 escados or someone had withheld 1,000 escados in the social services and was jailed for it. Oh God. Huh. Strange. Luke says, if I had kids, I'd eat them. I didn't say that. Now, what kind of life would they have? Stuck in this crap hole. This is an argument I have with my missus about my grandchildren. My kids are mad. Absolutely crazy. My daughter's just having another child. And a little boy. Another month or two. Viable now, so it's, but another couple of months, a little world of good. And a little boy. And little, you've probably seen pictures of my little Grace. Granddaughter Grace. Oh, hair, that's my little Grace. And I have another little brother. And so not another little brother, another little she's got two sisters. I have a little brother. 4 of them. And they're already struggling to make ends meet and what have you, even though he does earn quite good money. Ken. It's still a struggle because everything's so blooming expensive. But like I say, what kind of world we bring kids into? Although we need people better get busy. Get jiggy with it. Go on. Betterberg says, go to the nearest Turkish shop and they have something in the window about either how to help or where to send money. Oh, well, for start, I haven't got a clue where a Turkish shop is here in France. This just does not have a clue. I suppose I could find out. But it isn't money I'd want to give, because I haven't got any money. I am brassic. So it's just, it's hand to mouth at the moment. But there you go. But it's just, I haven't got the money, but I would like to be able to do, like I went over to help Graham, sod, and on Ginger Island, I feel I could help physically, with my hands, because I can make stuff or do stuff or, pull the rocks out or whatever. Obviously, that's late for that now, isn't it? I don't think I can pull many people out now. The golden window wasn't it 72 hours? So yeah, it's Mad Monk says, I'm not racist. I just dislike everyone equally. Was it equally? I'm not racist. I hate everyone, I do. Don't forget, boop the old like button. What's going on with my button? My button ain't working. My pastor's button. Oh, there you go. Why is it? Ah. Might have to reinstall that. Bit high. Why is it so high? There you go. Oh, damn. I need a production team. Ask Boris Johnson to cook eggs in his microwave. Well, it is oven ready deal.
Oven ready deal. Put it in the microwave.
But it's not. Has anyone tried to cook eggs in a microwave? You need like special little plastic things. They get really aerated. Not great. No. Omelets even stuff like that. None of that stuff works in the microwave. But you do it in the air fryer. You cook that sort of stuff in an air fryer. Not really a fryer. It's just a convection oven. What it is. I don't know why they call it a fryer, because all those air fryers is basically a grill at the top and it's got a fan. That's it. And it's vented in such a way to get the heat all the way around food. But they are clever and they do work. Oh, cheers, who? Yeah, they are lovely kids and that. Yeah. Marcus, it's all down to... I don't know if I can say it. Who's the retired Thomas? He say so. You have a lovely family there, Marcus. Oh, that I do. Oh, I'll find my little picture of Grace again. Oh, there you go. I'll have a lovely family there. It's all down to you and your Todger and Mrs. Marcus. On the shelf these days, I'll tell you. Oh, yeah, she's a lovely little girl. It's got little Grace, and she's got 2 little sisters. Oshi and Naina. Yeah. And he's got to have a little brother. Never mind. Please. Who's Zebatiah? But don't what Zebatiah Thomas says. Marcus, remember what I said earlier. Never mind about the trees. Set up a field for a British hippies. Blakes like us. I'll give you someone to talk English to. A hippie field. There's still room for that. You could, pitch your tent up amongst the trees even. Make sure we have not crushed them all up, because we won't be able to maintain around them. Because eventually they will. But eventually the trees will take over anyway, and the tethered growth and seeds that fall from trees. Eventually it'll sort itself out regardless. We haven't planted that close together at the moment. We won't be able to tidy around it at the moment until they get big enough so the grasses don't cover trees. Some trees are okay because they come sort of like that sort of big. Then you get other ones that are like that, depending on their species or varieties and stuff. Yeah. And also they don't necessarily like being put in as a big tree. But to be a little tree. Roots. Cannibal alert! Oh, I smell the Chianti. It was Vipec. Eggs in the microwave are. It's disgusting. It's a waste of a good egg. Now I do fritters. I've been doing these like vegetable fritters at the moment. So I made a load yesterday. 14 eggs I used. And then cauliflower and other veg and stuff like that in it. And basically mix it all. Bit of gluten flour because I can't use ordinary flour because of carbs again. And it's and loads of cheese, loads of grated cheese, Gruyere and stuff like that. And then like spoon them onto some bacon sheets and put it in the oven. Ideal little snacks. Tasty. Chilies, isn't it? They put chilies in it as well. Salmon is not for the plebs. No. What? What? Salmon? It's not for the plebs. Oh, okay. When it comes to poached food, you can't beat poached salmon. Poached salmon is absolutely lovely, no matter how you cook it. Oh, poached salmon, as in you're poaching it. You stole it. You poacher. Oh, dear. God, Google holds the most innocent... You're not wrong. These people... some of the comments, what have you, on the videos, they go into... there's a comment on the comments. So I go have a look in and have a look at the comments. You know, because I do actually read the comments. I don't always reply, but I do actually read. So I go in there and have a look and go, and I go, oh, where is it? It's gone. So they get the held back for review. So they have to go through the whole, not go through the held back review bit. Yeah. See if they're okay. Obviously, they've been flagged by YouTube. One reason of it. Sometimes it's just so ridiculous. Like I said in that video, my live stream a couple of weeks ago about the fact that I was that's 7 days, and it was what was it? Something about the terms of service agreement, but silly words like come and coming, and the algorithm just gets confused. Gone silly, gone absolutely silly. And now we've got this thing with the online bill, the online safety bill, which has gone gone absolutely crazy in the sense that with WhatsApp on encryption, doggy cam again. Like the you got WhatsApp, you got Signal, it's end-to-end encryption. So basically, you send a message and it's encrypted. They receive the message and it's decrypted. It goes through obviously the provider's servers and stuff like that. But what the government wants to do is they want access to the code that allows it to be encrypted or decrypted, so they can read your messages. Big Brother watching you. That's all part of this online safety bill. But it's not just that. They want to pre-scan any images, any photographs, or anything that you send to the recipient. They want to scan it before you even send it. So this is going to have to be all provided just for UK people in the United Kingdom, for which is not really possible because people receiving images from abroad then have to be under the same rules. So that means they have to make it a blanket rule for everybody, the whole platform, whether it be Signal or any of them, WhatsApp and what have you. So it just isn't going to work. So they've basically said that if this bill goes through, they are going to block the United Kingdom from the service. From WhatsApp and from Signal. Well, it's massively used for businesses and all sorts of stuff as what's considered relatively safe form of communication. Not great, is it really? Especially if it's somebody left a message earlier to say they use it to speak to their family and what have you. Because they feel safe using something like that encrypted service. But no, not anymore. Cheers, Lee. Lovely grandkids you've got. Well, your kids are lovely too. I met Lee's Corn's kids, you see. He's actually got smart kids. Big brains. Yeah. And one of them's got... how is he getting on with his... he's going to do live stream, wasn't he? Was going to have a go at live stream or do videos? Lee Corn? I think so. It is, but they are nice. They are good. We're very fortunate with our children. We really are. A bit blessed with them. They're good people. And they've got kind souls. They're nice people. They care about people. Which is a good start. The cooked scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs in the microwave is fine. You do that, no problem. Yeah, you got to put a dollop of butter in first, and then 2 eggs beaten, and some salt and pepper, full power of turmeric. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I actually do it for dogs. Put eggs in the microwave for the dogs, scrambled. Yeah, but I'm saying if you have like an omelette and stuff, it doesn't work. It comes really aerated. It wouldn't matter with scrambled egg, would it? Because obviously that's what you want. You want it to break apart. Yeah, obviously it isn't really scrambled. No. The cooked scrambled eggs in the microwave. It's a police state. Yeah, you're right, Smith. It's a police state. And it's basically, the way I see it is they're going to be able to turn every single one's mobile phone into a surveillance device. And when you consider like Signal alone, there's 100 million, God knows what on WhatsApp, but on Signal there's 100 million downloads of the Signal app, at least, on the Play Store, on Google Play Store. So it's it's considerable. It's just giving the government too much power, and also gives it. What's up, Wally? That little backer over there. What am I going to do with him? Open. There's a fat Wally. We'll keep getting a little plump. Oh, he's a little devil, he is. He's a right little devil. So you will have to tell the kids that, yes, we did have eggs. But now they're extinct. Oh my God. No. Oh, a listener with material. They have moved us all closer and closer to it since Brexit. They have. Most definitely. To an authoritarian state. Dogs love scrambled that they do. And Tom and Jerry lied to me. Cats love cheese. Oh, did they? You know what? I don't find mice actually that keen on cheese. They prefer they like dog food. Mice do. They love peanut butter. Peanut butter. They're all for peanut butter. Well, that's what we put in the traps. The microwave is not convincing me. I still fry my eggs in an oven or boil them in water. I do like a poached egg. Poached egg on toast. So I can eat lots of eggs at the moment, but I can't eat toast at the moment. I have at least 2 months of this. Oh, it's going to be long and slow. Oh. Yeah, Sebastian. I don't know. I think he's probably gone upstairs because Caroline, actually, she's in the other side of the house. And Sebastian's probably sitting cuddling her. So yeah, we've still got the other one. We haven't got rid of it yet. Although he's gone absolutely loopy. Absolutely mad he has, Sebastian. He's just race around everywhere and he like, bumps into things. He's a lunatic. Who's Avatar? Tom says met cops now like the city of Blade Runners. Oh my God, was Harrison Ford there anyway? Where is a city of Blade Runners? No, that was Harrison Ford, Blade Runner. Harrison Ford. Are you thinking of Fifth Element? Yeah. And the car in Harrison Ford, the original Blade Runner, what's that? A Messerschmitt bubble car? Or was it something else? I think there's something else. Who you got out of a Messerschmitt bubble car? The first one. I need to watch it again. Okay. painful to watch mine. Although, what's his name? He's pretty good, isn't it? Just a second, I'm just going to have to, well, tell you what, I'm just dealing with my dog. You mean mine in that? Go for that one.
It's not my freedom of expression to protest violently. No, you can't just start a riot or glue yourself to the roads and get away with it. Yes, friends, as Attorney General, I had to go to court to get some of these simple truths established. The judges agreed with me last week in the Court of Appeal in the Colston statute case. And that's why our public order bill will empower our police to stop this nuisance. So whether you're Just Stop Oil or Insulate Britain or Extinction Rebellion, you cross a line when you break the law. And that's why we'll keep putting you behind bars.
I did have to sort my dog out. What to go outside for a wee. Oh, he's still doing his videos, says Lee Corn, but he's very erratic with subject matter and timings. I did a gaming stream with my daughter last Saturday on Twitch. And we're going to try and do it again. I'll do it weekly. That'll be pretty cool. Well, that'll be a laugh. But he's very erratic with subject matter and timings. He's a bit like me then, is he? Might work. I might be absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. You've got to start somewhere, though, haven't you? We've got to create some sort of plan. Schedule himself. Sorry. Suellen Blabbermouth. Oh, God. It's Suella Brava person. Yeah, she's flipping awful, isn't she? Daniel Craggy. Evil Leaks in Downing Street. Oh, yes. What's that? Leaky Sue. That's it, Leaky Sue. Well, he just went outside for a wee, and he's run back in. My smash is actually in the living room, in front of the fire. So, why isn't it? Well, she is the moment. Dobby having a wet dream about those refugees being on a plane to Rwanda. The front page on the Telegraph. Yes. She's saying, don't expect to glue yourself and get away. I don't think that's their intention to get away. Oh, Ed 209. Oh, was a good old Ed 209. Leaky Sue, that's it, Leaky Sue. Can someone explain the mystery of how Suella got a degree in law? Well, she's done that in New York. She was on a New York bar. But you have to, when you're on the bar, you have to, every so many years, I think it's every year, you have to register. I suppose it's like a declaration type thing you have to do. And if you don't do it, you get struck off. And she's got struck off in New York. New York, Big Apple. Pretty it leaks and not leaks, as in leaks. Leek and potato pie, anyone? Yum. Wednesday evening. Oh, Wednesday. Okay. Tory graph. Yeah. Front page of the Telegraph. The Tory graph. Leaky Sue was an old alkie from my dad's local. Oh, really? I remember there was an issue about Tom and Jerry because of the description of the black housekeeper. Maybe that was the issue. It has gone a little bit silly. Do you think so? Like rewording Roald Dahl and stuff like that. Giant Pete stuff. I don't know. I think that's going a little bit far. All it does is just rile up those on the right. Oh, it's all the wokerati. It's the Guardian reading Oh, Guardian reading, tofu eating, wokerati causing all these problems. Oh dear. Yes, after the aftermath was messy, and the power vacuum allowed for all sorts of criminal activity, but the event itself was a thing of beauty. What, okay. Go back to House Sir the Brave, because I'm confused now. What have you been doing to a vacuum cleaner? What's it ever done to you? And Sir remembers nothing about law, seems. Every time she opens her mouth, she's breaking the law. Law of decency. Oh, yeah, decency law, about decency law. Okay, yeah. But you beat me to it. That woman, she's... Boris Johnson bought new surfboard for swimming the turds. Really? Oh dear. And with the Tories gerrymandering and next election, I suspect the same outcome as the last, with a new voter ID. Oh dear. That's, yeah, what about the local elections? You're going to need it for that as well, aren't you? How many people aren't going to vote? Oh, Peter Dow says they don't have to turn every mobile phone into a spying device. They're spying devices anyway, like TVs now, well, yes. Samsung's actual... Oh, yes, can you remember Samsung TVs? The microphone or the recording device on there was automatically turned on. As by default, you have to go in and turn it off. It's a bit naughty. Spying devices anyway, like TVs, and Samsung's actual reply: you should not have private conversations in your living room. No, okay. I mean, it's all getting too much, isn't it? Makes you wonder whether or not you should just turn off. Yeah, big physical switch. The internet. Yeah, the big switch. We all on. You turn it on a big switch. Internet's on. Got your Wi-Fi or your fibre. So it isn't like constantly there, collecting data. What's mad myself? Well, I'm gonna call. What's the time now? It's now 2:37. So 2 hours 37. That's a good long while. So I might call that in a minute. The Todger just bought a £4 million mansion. It's about 7 bedrooms or something. 11 bedrooms, something like that. You get all these kids in there. Yeah, they'll live there like happy families, can't they? Yeah. Good night, Jim Bob. Or something like that. Oh dear. Yeah, bought a £4 million quid. He's got no means to pay for it at the moment. I wonder where the money's coming from. Oh, one. Doesn't the UK have any professional, sort of boring type, competent politicians? No. Joe says, I hate our politicians. They're all boring, but at least they're competent. Well, there you go. One day, maybe. Yeah. Okay, who would you say is a competent politician in the government? Not in government, obviously, because there isn't any. But a competent politician that actually cares about people. Chris Bryant, I'd say he's pretty competent. And I think he actually generally cares about people. I think he's alright. I would have said David Lammy until he started following that blooming Brexit lark. Make Brexit work! Something like that. Dodger says, good night, Grandpa. Start off, pleb. A bit like that, wasn't it? That's actually quite a good one. Oh, God. That's like a two-bed where I... What? Really? 7 million. God. It was 7 million or something? Yeah, it was 7 million. There's a lot of money anyway, that house that he's supposed to be buying. 7 bedrooms or 11 bedrooms or... Big old place. But, you know, it's out in the sticks somewhere. And then didn't connect to it to the internet. Oh. Oh, I set up my parents' TV. I refused the terms and conditions when setting it up. Then didn't connect to the internet. A lot of people with TVs are. Why do you... unless you watch Netflix for it or something like that. It's just... wrong. It's wrong. We let it happen, though, is the problem. And they know that we let it happen. It just carries on. Emote so he can carry Antoinette into that when he's grown tired of her. Off with her head! Or something like that. These people don't care about you, says to Casper Northerner. They're... well, it's bed. Oh, there was your problem. Watching Sunday Roast. I haven't watched it. I don't generally watch it, to be honest. Not my... Last 2 times I saw it, it was so the quality was so low. I just couldn't, you know, found it painful. And it had some silly edits in it, which to make that. Yeah, I haven't watched it for weeks. I was like, no, it might be okay now. Gerrymandering doesn't always work. TV in the 1977 Irish general election, and Tullymander backfired spectacularly. Good. Well, I'm going to go to bed as well, because you probably noticed I'm getting really tired and I'm slurring my words. I didn't have much sleep last night. I watched Sunday Roast. A guest said, you have never needed ID to vote in the UK, but you always needed ID in Northern Ireland. I don't think having ID is a problem. I think it's forcing on people, so I don't think it should be so immediate. It should be like a transition period. You know, people get used to the idea of it. Ginger's Giraffe said, I watched Sunday Roast and I fell asleep. Oh, I've got so much to do. If I'm not going to benefit from it or learn from it, I'm not going to watch it. Yeah. No, I don't watch Sunday Roast, but whenever I get a chance, I do like to watch the Snowflake Show, Tom Nelson. I have to admit that it's really come together now. When you look at the Snowflake Show's first few, they're a little bit of a haphazard because they find their feet and what have you. There's stuff you got to do, you know. There's stuff we have to look after, you know, and it takes a lot of planning. Even my little show takes like, you know, all that stuff they have to write all that. And it's that was 2,500 words. It's not you don't write it just like that. And you got to think this stuff or do your research, haven't you? Yeah, some bits are copied and pasted, phrases on odd paragraph if you find. But on the whole, it's just writing it quite often. Which is a bit of a problem actually. Quite often when I'm writing my stuff, I actually just use the phone and I use speech to text. But my wife with an accent, yeah, Google Docs get really confused. Well, that don't make sense. I didn't say that. No. Oh, Phil was on Sunday Roast on Wednesday. Wednesday Sunday Roast. Okay. Well, Phil's on Sunday Roast, so I wouldn't have watched it anyway. It's not my cup of tea. Yes, to be one of the most arrogant people I know. Bus passes considered. Well, that'd be alright, wouldn't it? Your bus pass is considered as an ID in Northern Ireland. Is it snowing? Did someone say it's snowing? Oh, the Snowflake Show. Oh, I'm slow. Slow snow. I said a Dodge Kofi says. No, it's how the Tories have done it. Bus passes and travel passes count, but the student ID and student travel does. Ooh, that's a bit naughty. I know how you're going to vote. It might change under Labour. It's like the flipping Brexit referendums during the Glastonbury festival. People wonder why they didn't vote. Oh no, the magic has gone. Everyone thought you were doing your videos in one take. Oh, I do a script, but I pretty much wing it along the script. Do you know what I mean? Because if I done it actually like word for word, I'd sound robotic. I have it up. My script is up in front of me, but it's more of a reminder, and I just like wing it. And sometimes I have to like get myself back on track, so I then read off the script, and then back on track, and I know what I'm doing. A bit bizarre. I'm a bit of an oddity. Like some people work off bullet points. So yeah. I have to do my research, and I have to have facts in front of me because my memory's like a sieve. You know, short-term memory is terrible. Phil is never wrong, Marks. Oh, okay. That's what he thinks. Oh dear. Tomato might cost you $10 soon in Africa. Oh my god. Not for one tomato. Just grow your own. Pretty much anyone can grow tomatoes, but not yet. No, night, buddy. No, Joe. No, night, buddy. Don't forget the moat. Oh yes, got a moat. Oh god, yes. Alexander borrows to Ethel Johnson's house that he's planning to buy with somebody else's money, probably. Got a moat. Yeah, a moat. I want to have a moat. I want to put a moat around my house, but the problem is I'm on the side of a valley, so the water fall out. It won't work. So I'd have tank traps instead. Marcus, tell us about your plans this week in La France. Probably shopping the cam. Yeah, I'm going to be doing probably some more trolley cam again. But I'm probably going to go. Maybe I'm going to go back up to the Grand Fray again. I think. Maybe a different suit, but I can see what's going on. Grand Fray. If anyone know, well, Lee probably knows it, but Grand Fray is not an organic. Is it organic shop? It's organic. Yeah, it's a bio type shop, but they have like all the vegetables and stuff. They're all like these misters going. Everything's like sod and wet basically. They look all misty and that. Basically, it's so fresh. The veg is so good. And you get stuff from all over the place. Quite unusual. If you can't get it in the supermarkets, that's where we get it from, is Grand Fray. And all sorts of stuff in there. Like at the moment, I wanted samphire, you know, the seaweed, and I couldn't get any samphire in the local supermarkets. Sometimes they sell it, but at the moment you can't get it. I don't know why, but so I'm hoping I better get it in there because you pretty much get anything. And it's some things are expensive, but vegetables are actually quite reasonable and quite cheap generally. And really, really nice. Giant lettuces. That big it was. Giant lettuce. That's a big frizzy. Gelato. Oh. So you don't like Phil McCavity? Oh no. Oh, Ellie. Yeah. You're welcome. That's true. You have done really well. Your shows is that their shows become on the Snowflakes become more and more polished, and as a duo, I mean Reagan and Lee, and the two of them together, they're kind of like got banter going on. It's quite cool. Quite nice to see actually. Yeah, good night, Vibe Peck. And I am going to be doing that myself because I'm really tired and I feel I'm slurring all the time. Oh, I yawn. Oh God, I don't know. A bit like my lessons then. All short, says Tom. There we go. Ah, good point. Sadiq Khan, yes, he does. He is competent and has a better policy on Europe. He does. He doesn't agree with all this make Brexit work, but malarkey makes no sense whatsoever. That doesn't. You know what? He really disappointed me, David Lamb. He did. I actually really liked David Lamb. And then one minute he's just like all pro EU, pro this, and that's it. And then he goes full circle. And it's not full circle. We've got to make Brexit work now, which is absolutely poppycock. Anyway, it's time for me to go. And not like Daddy Blase. I hope you do. Doing well with your channel, aren't you, my friend? Very well, in fact. Good. Oh, and Caroline Lucas, she's good, yeah, but she's a rarity, she is, isn't she? Mind is burning! Oh my god, Duke Vengeance, his head's blowing up. Marcus, go then. Gotta go and face bollocks myself. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for the super chats and that, because I definitely could not do this without it. If it wasn't for the super chats, I'd have to say, well, I can't do it. So I do really appreciate it. So, night to everybody, and I hope you have a lovely week. And I've got videos up going up in the morning as well. And yeah, I've got to keep putting videos up. Okay, I'll keep plodding along with it. Doing my best. Plod. Okay. Time for me to go, so I'm gonna go. So ta-ta. What should I leave you with? What about Jeff? Not him. Oh no,
from
not him.
Farm to
Food to fork.
or we could all starve.
Oh, it was the Undertaker. Oh, how a bit of. I'm tired. All right, ta-ta.
I've been wondering what that special place in hell looks like for those who promoted Brexit without even a sketch of a plan how
not
to
Tusk, obviously.
Safely. Thank you.
Chocolate. Energy. Coffee. For the brain. Too late.